the big part of the contract, San Francisco, because you gave him a front-loaded contract. It was front-end loaded. You've paid the price. Jimmy's got his money. Why don't, when he comes back, and I understand that the most important thing about a professional athlete is availability. If you're injured all the time, that is a bad thing. But he was there last year. I think this year is just kind of one of those freak years. It's 2020. You know what I'm saying? Deebo Samuels suffered a Jones fracture in his foot. I would be more worried about Deebo. You know what I'm saying?
With the Jimmy G thing, like I think the reason people say this and don't like him because he's kind of boring. He's a boring quarterback, and like not every quarterback has to be a playmaker. That's just the truth of the matter. They can be a game manager. They can rely on a run game. But I don't take any of that stuff serious. Do you?
I mean, do people not realize that Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson won Super Bowls? They did it with good defense and running the football. And by the way, guys that knew how to play football and not make mistakes. I say that more about Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson was the better quarterback, but he was very average. And Jimmy G's better than both of them. Trent Dilfer just literally let Ray Lewis play defense and handed that Jun off. You know what I mean? And threw like a couple passes every once in a while. But Jimmy G, over his career, is a 67.5% quarterback completion percentage. 67.5. He's also, in his career, 24-8. 8, 16, 24. He wins 2 games. I mean, out of every 3 games, he's 2-1. That is not a bad record, is it? Not in the NFL. By the way, do you know how many touchdowns he has? 51 to 26 INTs. I'm sorry. I know that availability is the most important thing. This year, he hasn't been available for him. He's been a little banged up. But this too will pass. The kid is, realistically, he's a kid. He's only 29 years old. In quarterback years, that's still just learning. I mean, he's still, processing information. Look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yes, some people are better when they're young. Deshaun Watson looks great, but guess what? Houston ain't winning.
Speaking of which, the Aaron Rodgers talk of last year, of
Stupid.
him slowing down, is that over? I mean, good God, this guy is insane.
I didn't
This
even
guy's
think
speeding
it
up.
was real last
He is
year.
very much in his prime still. Like, I'm tired of hearing anything other than that. Like, he is in his prime.
He is, and I will say one thing: this year is gonna depend though on Mr. Lazard. If he can come back, be healthy, and be that number 2. Devontae Adams said he was a awesome wide receiver. We're gonna talk about that in the leadoff, but I will tell you, Lazard will be the most important thing, except for Chad Gatlin, who gives you the whole first hour at MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. Check out my good friend Chad. Give him a call at 901-235-1176, 901-235-1176. Say what's up. Say, I need auto, home, life, renters. What do you think I need? He knows, because guess what? He's going to get to know you. He knows this city. He was born here. He will end up being here. He loves it here. Get the Power Farmers, the knowledge of Memphis, MemphisFarmers.com. Chad Gatlin, he's my buddy, 901-235-1176, and he gives you the first hour. Gabe, I'm in the box.
I did want to mention, before we get deep into the leadoff, there has been a watch list sighting for Moussa Cisse. He is on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar watch list, obviously for best center in the country. Thought I'd mention that before we get into the leadoff. But let's start in a pretty familiar spot for you as far as the MLB goes. Alex Cora today has been hired back by the Red Sox. He had to serve his year suspension for his part in the Astros sign-stealing scandal. It comes after the former Astros manager, A.J. Hinch, has been hired by the Tigers as well. The Tigers and the Sox weren't allowed to talk to these guys until after the World Series, and I think many people expected these guys to get another shot in the MLB. But do you think that Alex Cora and A.J. Hinch have paid the consequences for their actions, or, in your opinion, have they been let off easy?
Are you kidding? I'm AJ Hinch. I have a lot more leeway. I have a lot more understanding. One, if you actually are a baseball fan, or if you go to 7, 8, 9 or MLB Network is what I'm talking about, and you watch all the people talk about there all the time on there like I do, then you'll basically understand how A.J. Hinch, it does not, I mean, I can't find, do you know where the smoking gun about him knowing about this? I mean, there's no text message, there's no emails, there's a lot of stuff. Now, was he the manager of Houston? Yes. Does he have to pay for it? Yes. But every single person who basically has even come under like scrutiny or talked to Rob Manfred or been asked about anything, it was all Alex Cora. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a Alex Cora plot. And I think in this country, like, if like some dude has premeditated murder in his mind or something, and you know, you just happen to be like hitchhiking and you hop in his car and you like see dude kill him, you might get like accessory after the fact. But dude, he's the main culprit, and he's the one who's like premeditated and try to think about this junk. That's a horrible analogy. I like using like Ginger and Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island much better, but didn't really work here. I look at Alex Cora as the one person who realistically should have fallen, and he didn't fall. He basically is going to take a little time off, get COVID-19 off, and then he gets to come back after this horrible shortened season and having to deal with coronavirus, and he gets his old job back for the Boston Red Sox? Hold up. What? How many minor league managers, how many first and third base coaches are saying to themselves, what do I gotta do to get a shot to be a big league manager? I mean, dadgummit. Tony La Russa's 71 years old and he got a job again. Been out of the game for almost 9 years. And now the cheater's back. What are we doing, baseball? Let's get old and let's get some cheaters.
It's just crazy how well it all worked out for Alex Cora. He got his championships. Nothing was vacated. And then he decides, okay, well, I guess I have to serve this year's suspension. The year's suspension is on the shortest season in MLB history, with the COVID-19 pandemic raging across the country, and then he gets to come back the next year. It feels like he hasn't had to serve anything. Feels like nothing has happened to Alex Cora. Now, you have your thoughts about A.J. Hinch. I feel
I think Jeff Luhnow has paid the most ultimate price here.
I feel certain some of the same emotions for A.J. Hinch as I do for Alex Cora, but I do agree with you that Alex Cora is the guy who needs to serve more of the punishment, and he hasn't served any, basically.
And the bad thing is how is it that Jeff Luhnow is the guy who's the biggest scapegoat here? GM for the Astros?
No idea.
Because he doesn't have a job. He released...
By the way, and I do want to mention this. For people that don't know, Jeff Luhnow is very good at his job.
Very good.
Like, incredibly good. He did it with he did so well with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Cardinals
he did
fans
so
should
well
know
with
him.
their farm system, and then he goes to the Astros, does the same thing.
They were horrible.
He was in charge of the personnel. It's hard for me to imagine a GM or a baseball ops guy being a part of the illegal video scandal. It just doesn't make sense.
I want to ask you something. Jeff Luhnow, A.J. Hinch, Alex Cora were fired, correct?
Yep.
Now, Alex Cora and A.J. Hinch, and thank you to, realistically, Jeff Luhnow for all the information he released, his direct testimony that was released, that it basically almost kind of, in my opinion, cleared A.J. Hinch. And it definitely cleared Jeff Luhnow. But, buddy, did it strike a real strong chord against Alex Cora? Like, dude, you were basically like, if you looked at The Godfather, you know who the head of the Corleone family was? That's who Alex Cora is. But they're like going after like Fredo and all these other little people. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, go after the big person, man. It just doesn't make no sense. Jeff Luhnow, he's still without a job, and he's released tons of information that basically says Alex Cora was the one who did it. And now that he has a job, I'm just shocked. But it is so Boston, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I do feel it's funny, though, because A.J. Hinch also, he has gotten it's tough.
And the Tigers isn't a fun organization.
That's what I was going to say. He got hired by one of the worst organizations in baseball, whereas Alex Cora gets his job back with the Red Sox, and you know they have a lot of money, and he'll be able to have success there just because of what they have on that roster in the farm system.
Skated off. He got a championship, and nobody's even said jack to him. He did one press conference.
Makes me a little bit mad, but let's transition to the NFL last night. Thursday night football. The Packers hammered the Niners. The Niners were, of course, we mentioned it, missing a lot of people. Final score was 34-17. But the media talked with the Packers wide receiver Davante Adams after the game, and he was asked truly, if he is the best wide receiver in the NFL. In his response, he said, quote, "I think that's fair to say," end quote. Adams is in the top 10 in every receiving category, and he's first in TDs with 8. He added to that total last night. So, since Davante Adams thinks it's fair to say he's the best wide receiver in the NFL, do you think it's fair to say Davante Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL?
All right. So we're going to scratch right now Michael Thomas, right? Scratch.
He's out.
Odell Beckham Jr.
He's out.
Chris Godwin has not had the year that you'd expect him with Tampa Bay. Keenan Allen and the Chargers. Yeah, he's doing good, but it's the Chargers, and it's just not something I can look at. Mike Evans, I think, has been not that good with Tom Brady, which I thought he was going to be great. Don't even make me mention Amari Cooper in Dallas. The only one that I can really just jump up and say I think is having a better year is two guys. And it may not be one is having the better year, but one of them is just better, and his name is Tyreek Hill. And the other guy who's having just a better year is DeAndre Hopkins. But Davante Adams, you're right there behind him. And I have to say something. If you look at Tyreek Hill, he has the man, Patrick Mahomes, throwing him the football. Look at Davante Adams. He has Aaron Rodgers, the man, throwing him the football. Both guys get open. And by the way, also look at Mr. Hopkins. Hey, our little guy, the little bitty dude who's smaller than Flutie Flakes, really ain't bad. Kyler Murray, he can sling that junk, and he can run, and he might be little. He looks like a little dude on the field, but he's awesome. So I would say he is in the top 5 for sure. He's in the top 3, but I would rather have Hill or Hopkins.
I do agree with your sentiments there. I'd probably have him over Hill, honestly. But my question becomes Julio Jones. Where does he fit into this conversation right now?
I thought about that.
Given he's on a bad team, he does have Matt Ryan, but he still is putting up numbers.
He's putting up good numbers this year when they're losing. In the years that they were winning, he didn't put up a bunch of touchdowns. You know what I mean? Julio Jones, for me, is one of the biggest physical freaks who can get numbers, not get touchdowns. Who, when he gets his touchdowns, he doesn't get wins. I don't know how to explain it. Julio, for me, I don't know. He's confusing. He's a great receiver. He's a top 5 guy. I just have Hopkins. I have Hill even. And Hill, by the way, is straight up. It's because, again, Davante Adams has Aaron Rodgers. He has Patrick Mahomes. They have all those other pieces. And he is just that. I mean, when you're 4'2", you're just, I'm sorry, I love you.
Now I'm going to pose this question. We've seen what the Packers give Aaron Rodgers to work with. Is Davante Adams his best weapon ever?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking, too.
The fact that we're talking about Allen Lazard being the key for this guy to not have just triple coverage, basically. I mean, if you had a tight end and another guy, and Allen Lazard was being the number 2 for the Packers. He was playing pretty good football before his injury. If he can get back to doing what he's doing, and you don't have to just Aaron Rodgers just focusing in on Adams every single time, it'll make him go even farther. I love Davante Adams, but again, 3 of the best wide receivers. Look at their quarterbacks. They're playing pretty good football. And by the way, I also have to mention this. DK Metcalf is up in this junt too.
He's getting there. He's getting there. Don't sleep on DK.
Now.
Do not sleep on DK. But let's also get to what we talked about, I believe it was a couple weeks ago when the NFL talked about waiving draft picks for people that did not follow protocol for COVID-19. This morning, the NFL has handed out penalties to the Raiders because of what they describe as brazen and repeated violations of protocols. They have now stripped the Raiders of not only $500,000, but a 6th-round pick. Now that we've actually seen this happen where a pick has been stripped from a team because of COVID protocols, do you think it's a fair punishment?
Bro, I hate to say it. I mean, this might bother some people out there. I don't know why, but yes, this is a very fair punishment. How many times do you get warned before you finally have to lose something? And again, this isn't a joke. I had a friend, and I don't even want to talk about it. I've known people that have died from COVID. I've known too many people who have had COVID. Look what it's done to the economy. Look what it's done basically all over the world. It is a pain in the, you know what? And all I want people to do is do what they're, just do what you're asked to do. and they violated. And by the way, did you see the NFL? It was brazen. It was not a mistake. It was basically
repeated violations.
No, it was basically they told them what to do, and they just said, "Meh, this is how we roll in Las Vegas. I don't care what y'all are doing anywhere else. We're the Raiders." It doesn't roll like that. You're part of the NFL, and I'm so glad. And it reminds me of something. Do you remember about 2016? Do you remember the big incident that happened when that fan for Oakland slapped the Chargers fan? That's what the NFL did back to the Oakland fans today. Sorry. Tell your boy, Johnny, Chucky, whatever you want to call him, put his mask on. Tell all your people to follow protocol. Tell them to quit going out to parties with over 100 people. Tell them to stop being idiots. I'm being honest. I don't feel sorry for him at all.
And granted, it's only a 6th-round pick. But if they keep doing this, I'm sure it could turn into more.
Dude, and it's a heavy fine, by the way. And what's his name? The owner, the guy that I call Lloyd Christmas.
Mark Davis.
Thank you, Lloyd Christmas. Mark Davis. He does look just like he's not super rich right now. Like the NFL is basically everything. You know what I mean? He was struggling financially not too long ago. So I don't know. He doesn't need to be paying hefty fines, it feels like. He already went and paid $100 million for his coach, and he just had to incur a $500,000 penalty. How many times do you see owners get slapped with a $500,000 fine?
Pretty rare.
I haven't seen that since, like, the Patriots. So it is rare. But speaking of rare, we got to talk about what's going to happen in fantasy football with Jim McCormick. You know why? Because Antonio Brown's back. What's that mean for the other people on his team? What's that mean for Tom Brady going forward? There's a lot of questions. Is Alan Lazard, if somebody doesn't have him in fantasy, is he somebody you want to have going down the stretch? Is Antonio Brown somebody you want going down the stretch? So many questions. That's why I talk with the best in the business. That's Jim McCormick. He comes up next. Never forget, this whole hour is brought to you by Chad Gallen at MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. 901-235-1176. The Power of Farmers, the trust of my man, Chad Gatlin. Check him out. Get your fast quote today at MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Fantasy football. Hit us up, 67129. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Golfers, are you looking to play like a pro without traveling the world? Just come to Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue. Golf and Games has the Top Tracer range system. Top Tracer gathers all your golfing data, distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Or choose a virtual course like Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, and Spyglass. Bring your friends and family to transform and enhance the range experience for golfers and non-golfers alike. Plus, it's fun. Top Tracer range at Golf and Games, 5484 Summer Avenue. Play like a pro.
Back to work at that job, the one you realized isn't for you? Well, that's if you're lucky, right? Make your move. You can start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
I'm so sick.
Ooh, honey.
Seriously? I'm sick.
Oh, honey, it's time for DayQuil Severe Honey. It's maximum strength cold and flu medicine with soothing, honeylicious taste.
I love you, honey.
And I love you.
I meant the DayQuil.
New DayQuil Severe Honey, the soothing, honeylicious daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, power through your day medicine. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1, and the new FM 98.5.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
What is up? Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Oh my goodness, what a day it is. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Hit us up at 67129. I got a lot of questions for you. Again, I just want to know if the early bird gets the worm, then why do people, why do good things come to those who wait? I just don't get that. Think about it. Early bird gets the worm, then why do good things come to those who wait? What do I need to do? Are you an early bird or are you a waiter?
I'm a waiter.
Okay.
What are you?
I've done both. Neither have worked. But it is time to do a little fantasy football. We're about to talk with Jim McCormick. Jim is going to join us in just a minute. We're going to talk everything about what's going on this week. What do we need to expect coming on with basically Antonio Brown? What do you think about is Washington and the Giants? Like if you have a game like that, if you have the Giants and the Skins and you're thinking to yourself, who am I going to play? Maybe you're on DFS or whatever. Dude, think about Antonio Gibson. Oh, yeah, out of Memphis maybe. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Don't forget Christian McCaffrey is coming back. Seahawks and the Bills. You got Josh Allen. You got the man himself, Russell Wilson. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm fired up about this week. I know you are. And I take it we're not getting Jimmy.
We will see. I'm efforting him.
Oh, okay. Don't fret if we don't. Hit us up at 67129. I'm not the fantasy expert. I'll talk about the dead gum games for you and try to help you out. But if Jim doesn't hit us up, give us a call at 901-235-1176. 901-235-1176.
No, you don't give us a call there. 360-8255.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I know what you're reading.
Oh, my
Gatlin.
God.
You're
Thank
reading
you. I was
Gatlin.
thinking of Chad.
You have a lot of numbers that you have to get to.
You know what? That was actually, I wasn't even reading. That was just out of my brain. 360-8255. I haven't said that in a while, I don't feel like. Give us a call. 901-360-8255. And again, Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be back. Bruce Arians has said Chris Godwin, he's catching the ball fine today. Now, we're going to see how sore he is tomorrow. I would think to myself that he's probably going to play. What do you think, Mr. Gabe Kuhn? If you were a fantasy football player in your DraftKings or DFS in your daily football, and you look at that Tampa Bay and New Orleans, you got to be thinking to yourself, there's going to be tons of opportunity to score between these two teams. But, dude, is there anybody you just really want on the Bucs? Because, again, you're going to have Antonio Brown play anywhere from 8 to 20 snaps. Chris Godwin is going to be back. He's catching the ball today. They're saying, basically, in all honesty, if Bruce Arians says, oh, it kind of depends on how sore he is tomorrow, that he's a professional athlete. If he's out at practice catching the ball, do you really expect him to be like so sore that he can't play? I mean, you practice to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't you expect unequivocally for Chris to be there?
Yes, and play all the snaps he can.
I do too.
I think there's a lot of guys on the Bucs that I would really appreciate having.
Well, see, I'm more worried about it. Just everybody
getting spread out.
Everybody's going to eat.
But when
you got Gronk, you got Brate, you got Evans, you got Brown, you got Godwin. Don't forget about Jones and Fournette in the backfield. Like, holy cow, how many people are going to get that John?
But Gronk has been coming along pretty nicely. Tom Brady is a must start at this point in fantasy. And then I look in the backfield. And I'm liking how they're using Leonard Fournette now. I don't know how you feel about it, but if he's getting a fair share of the backfield carries, and he is their self-proclaimed third down back, then I like his chances. He got 15 carries last game for 60-some-odd yards, and he always gets the running back targets out of the backfield. So I'm liking Leonard Fournette as well this week.
You know, that I like Leonard Fournette a little bit, but I will tell you one thing. If I am in a daily fantasy, or if I have any of these Bucs players that we're talking about, and this is the first week we're about to see this bad boy spread around, and I know it's Sunday Night Football, and that's one of the reasons, because on daily fantasy, a lot of times they do the Sunday, Monday night hookup. So you kind of got to look at this game very clearly, but I'm telling you right now, you got New Orleans, you got Tampa Bay. New Orleans has played really good defense. I know it's going to be hard. Tampa Bay's played great defense, but there's one guy I'm looking at, and that's Alvin Kamara. I know he's going to be expensive, but out of there, I want a piece of him big time. Like, I want a lot of him. And then the other one is, I was going to ask you is Miller now the fastest guy on the team, Scotty Miller? He's only 5'9". Is he going to be off your fantasy football team for good? Is he going to the bench? What are they going to do with Scotty Miller?
That's one of the questions I wanted you to get to with
McCormick.
Jim.
Me too.
Because it was like, when you look at AB and you look at what Scotty Miller's doing this year, Tom Brady seems to love the guy.
He loves him.
Love him.
400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 receptions.
The thought process goes, if AB, one of the best wide receivers we've seen
ever in our generation
of all time, basically, is he going to take away
yes.
touches? And you would think, yes, absolutely.
And
but
so
Scotty Miller,
Godwin, I would think.
But Scotty Miller has been great, like very good, and he's been very good for Tom Brady.
It's just, I know it will be hard for their, Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians to look across and see big Mike Evans out of Texas A&M, first-round draft pick. Antonio Brown is going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. You got Chris Godwin, top 10 receiver in the NFL, like last year. Going into this year before he got injured, he was, I think, the 10th wide receiver taken off our fantasy board. People love Chris Godwin. And then Scotty Miller was the guy that I picked up. And now I'm thinking to myself, well, damn. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, by the way, I don't know if anybody realizes, do you know the fastest person clocked on the field for Tampa Bay this year? Scotty Miller at 21 miles an hour. He's 5'9", he's 175 pounds, and he's out of Bowling Green. He's a 6th-round pick. I just have a feeling Leftwich and Arians are going to look at him and say to themselves, oh, man.
But but here's the thing about Scotty Miller. He just seems like such a Tom Brady guy. Like, he just seems like if Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich take him off the field, Tom Brady is going to be in his corner to say give him some time on the field. But again, the point's well taken. AB, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. How many people can get touches at that point?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to have to look at my fantasy football team. I'm going to hold on to Scotty Miller right now, but I have a fear that I'm going to lose a lot of value because, again, I'm worried about Mike Evans and how many touches he's going to get going forward because Gronk's now catching touchdowns and Brate, and then you got Fournette who's catching like 5 balls a game, and it just seems like the way this thing's going to be spread around, they're going to have the most unstoppable offense. But each week, you never know which guy's going to eat. That's one of the scary things for me. By the way, Gabe, Jim said call him. He's sorry. He was blowing my phone up. Sorry if you couldn't tell my brain wasn't working. Now we get our question answered. But we also have a lot of other questions that we got to ask because there's just so much stuff going on. Christian McCaffrey's coming back. Heck, there's just – I don't even know what to think. Dalvin Cook, is there any way that he does a repeat of what he did last week? I mean, I know he's not playing the Green Bay Packers, but he is playing the Lions. So there's a lot of stuff. And guess who joins me now? The man, the myth, the living legend. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, man? Sorry for missing your call. I'm ready to go.
Brother, don't even fret, man. I will tell you something. The only thing you've missed is we're all kind of freaking out because I added Scotty Miller to my team, and he's fast as all get out. But now that you got Godwin, Brown, Evans, Brate, Gronk, is he somebody that's even going to even see the field?
No, I mean, you named too many names, right?
Yep.
There's too many commas in there. You'd be better off like chasing target share somewhere else. It's not there.
That's what I was figuring. And the other thing is I was going to ask you is this week, if you did stash Antonio Brown, if you picked up Antonio Brown, you don't want to play him this week, do you?
That's trickier.
Oh.
Because who knows what Arians does. I could see them just wanting to get him some work. I would play Antonio Brown.
Ooh.
Like in a flex, I'm saying. Like, if he was free, I'd play him. There's so many ugly situations, I'd play him.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, a couple other things that we got to get to, and it's really, really, really important. Lamar Jackson has got tons of questions at 6'7", 129. People that took him at quarterback expected tons of rushing touchdowns, tons of touchdowns. What has he got like this year? Like 2 passing touchdowns, and does he have a rushing touchdowns yet? Or, I mean, he's got 12, passing touchdowns, but I mean, does he got 2 rushing touchdowns or something like that?
Yeah, well, his rushing totals are like they're not terrible. He had a couple games where he just didn't leave the pocket, but look, whatever they're doing, like what Pittsburgh do, like they're spying more.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just there's that bounce back. Remember last year we saw the regression with Mahomes.
Yep.
Whatever they're doing this year with Jackson, it's working. Like it's not the same passing offense. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's not, and it's also he's just not rushing for the same amount of yards and touchdowns as it seemed like he did. I mean, the Eagles is one thing. But when you're playing everybody else, I mean, he couldn't do anything against Pittsburgh. He was awful against Cincinnati. Pretty good against Kansas City, but I don't know. It's just heck, he wasn't even that great against Washington. It's weird. Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP. A lot of people have questions going forward. If you spend a high draft pick on him, are you riding it out with him? Or are you looking somewhere else?
Look, you ride it out with Lamar, right? Like I mean, like he still can win you a week. It's just that hopefully you drafted well otherwise, right? That's kind of that tax you pay on getting a quarterback really high. Look, it paid off this year for the guys who went for Mahomes. If you paid up for Russell Wilson, it hasn't paid off for Lamar Jackson. I think some people maybe, like, I didn't predict it, but I'm saying, like I said, the league counters you, and so I think that's happening.
Ooh, it's a wild week. Now, I got to get to a couple crazy ones. We're going to do some starters and, don't start some people in week 8. First thing I do want to ask you, though, is there somebody that's because this is we get every week, who is out there that might be on their waiver wire that you can snatch up to replace at a flex, maybe a running back position, something like that? I know we had some last night, but you see anything still this weekend that you can go out there and grab anybody?
Randall Cobb is kind of interesting. I know he's kind of like a ghost of fantasy football past, but what they're doing now, they're doing a lot more checkdowns. You see it with Cook's numbers. Like just tons and tons of peppering the check down. I think the new philosophy, which Bill O'Brien didn't subscribe to, is you have a really bad offensive line, so just get the ball out of the hand. So I think Cobb might be interesting. For quarterback, Drew Lock isn't in the worst situation. Here's one that will be available in every league. Darnell Mooney, he's starting to play well. for Chicago. He's more of a risk. But here's a tight end that's interesting. Most people probably don't know this because they're coming off bye, but Logan Thomas, the former quarterback,
from Virginia
he
Tech,
had 4 targets every single game this year, and he's playing a Giants team that is terrible in coverage.
Wait a second, he has 4 targets every single game. The former Virginia Tech
Every
quarterback.
single game, it's just that they were from like you and me. They were from Dwayne Haskins and stuff like that. Like not that Kyle Allen's that much better, but if you look at the last 3 weeks, what happens? There's a value sometimes. It's also true with Trey Burton this week. There's a value sometimes for these marginally owned guys who no one picked up because of the bye week. You know what I mean? Like there just wasn't enough excitement, and their big games are 2 weeks ago. I mean, look. This guy's getting targets. I don't know how valuable they are, but there's not many tight ends with a pulse. I think Logan Thomas could help people this week.
I love that, by the way. That's a nice little call right there. And since you brought up tight ends, I'm going to go and hit you with this one. Evan Ingram. They're playing Washington this week. He looks like he came out, from the dropsies that he had a little bit earlier. He was better a little bit, last week on Monday night. Is he going to be good this week against, Washington defense? They're pretty good. Danny Dimes could get killed. He might turn the ball over, but he's still back there throwing the junt, and it seems like he throws a lot to Ingram. How high do you have him on your board?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a top, especially with the injuries. You got guys like Ertz out. I mean, you have Kittle out. Like he's top 10. He's a tight end 1. Wow. I think it's an offense that spends part of their offense on moving the ball with the tight end. So.
I like that. It's a good one. Now, just to make sense, like the guys at the very top, if you're in the DFS, is still, even though, Lamar Jackson's struggling, is it Kelsey and Andrews, and is Gronk getting back onto the top, 12, 13, tight ends in the league?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, the Gronk of the last couple of weeks has been different. We talked about he probably took his TB12 supplement, and it's just, whatever it is, he looks like just better on seam routes. Again, you talked about it, when you opened up talking about Scotty Miller. It's also a traffic thing. Is there enough targets? But, I mean, I don't know. Not to just, go back to, an old cliche, but, Gronk in the red zone, Brady finds him. And really with tight ends, let's be honest, outside of those you mentioned, you're kind of gambling on a tight end or a big play.
Man, that is very, very true. Gosh, dang it, man. There's so many running back questions. I'm just going to go with this. Dalvin Cook is all over the place. Minnesota can't throw the ball. They got rid of everybody. But, man, they were playing Green Bay last year. Is everybody a little bit too high on the Dalvin Cook hype? Or is the rest of the year they're just going to give him the rock and he's going to run like a maniac?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's something, the appeal, you and I talked about it before, Pittsburgh, there's an appeal to these older school kind of coaches sometimes, just because we can kind of trust that they're going to, do the old school thing, give the running back
the ball to Connor.
I think that's the case with Zimmer. Zimmer is I think he's already seen what the Kirk Cousins movie looks like. He doesn't like it. And I think he's going to run the offense through Cook. But here's the thing with Kirk Cousins. He's also a little bit, I know you're saying, but I think it's a great week with Justin Jefferson. I know people are playing him anyway, but even DFS-wise, because Detroit plays man coverage. And the one thing that Kirk Cousins picks apart is man coverage.
Man, oh man! By the way, that is true. That is true. But man, Cook has been cooking. And he's a bad man, and I like what you said. Now Connor, because of Pittsburgh and what they are, he's a top 10 back going forward, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, look, outside of that one injury week 2 or whatever, he's had 18 touches every single week. I mean, there's only a handful of guys, truly a handful of guys, who get 18 touches every week. I mean, this sounds crazy, but right now, who would you rather have? Would you rather have James Conner and his kind of weekly security, or would you rather have Zeke Elliott?
Ooh, I would rather have James Conner. But now that you're
talking
about James,
and that also speaks to Zeke, but it speaks to this idea every week you know what you're getting from Conner. There's a value to that.
Well, I trust Conner's more, but you're talking about James. What about James Robinson going forward? I mean, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At some point we got to throw out the reputations and the names. I mean, look, we saw Alfred Morris do this before, and he's doing it for Gruden. You know what I mean? This is Jay Gruden down there. I guess what I'm trying to say is they do a good job. That offense does a good job. That Gruden offense does a good job getting these one cut zone guys free. And he's also more importantly in this offense in this NFL where guys come off the field all the time. Look at Indianapolis. There's 7 running backs. In Jacksonville, they just leave him on the field all the time. So when there's catch-up time, you're getting those points too. So Robinson, what is he, RB2 right now overall? It's something crazy like that. He's going to end up a top 5 running back.
He is tearing it up, man. He's going to get some awards. Yeah, he's a league winner. And by the way, if you would have told him, I didn't know basically anything about him before the year started, so I'm an idiot. Now, you mentioned Dallas. You mentioned Zeke. Amari Cooper's there. We don't want
Yes.
any shares of any of these guys, and we want to look somewhere else if we have them on our fantasy team playing the Steelers, right?
It's really bad when, like, the quarterback that you might be trusting, that you just hear about him,
Garrett
like, that week.
Gilbert.
Like, you just learned their name, like, that week. That's not good. Like, it's just a bad situation, obviously. They're on their fourth option at quarterback, essentially, and, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, it railroaded everything. Like, Dak somehow, like, he tore his ACL, but he got more valuable.
Yeah, I don't think if you combine DiNucci, Cooper Rush, and Garrett Gilbert all combined and put their stats together, I don't know if they'd have a good complete game. I mean, they're not very good.
Yeah, like, I think, yeah. I mean, it's just, you went from a top 5 quarterback situation to probably the worst in the league.
Now, this is going to be an interesting thing. If you have Kyler Murray, how worried are you this week against the Dolphins? The Dolphins are one of the stingiest defenses in all of football. Are you scared of Hopkins? Are you scared of Murray? Are they just ballers and you go out there and play?
I think the thing with Kyler is look at that crazy rushing. You're talking about Lamar Jackson. When did he get his touchdowns? Like, it's not just a fluke thing. Like, you know, like maybe Jameis Winston had 6 touchdowns his rookie year rushing, and it was like a fluke because nothing else added up. He didn't run. Well, that's not the case with Kyler. He's a real runner. I just think the floor, they call it the cheat code, the Konami code, the old Contra code. It's just like you get free points when your guy rushes. I think he's there. I understand that Miami's a good defense, but I think last week was just super opportunistic against the Rams, right? Like, they just had those 2 crazy return touchdowns. I think it's going to be a little bit more competitive this week. So I don't know. I think the problem with Arizona is there's not a lot of fun other than those 2 guys, right?
No kidding. There really isn't. And I mean, Kenyon Drake is, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Edmonds, like, you can use him, but eventually, let's be honest, they're going to go back to some level of a committee. But for now, I mean, Edmonds is still helpful. But yeah, it's just, there's not much to target there.
And one other thing I got to ask before I say goodbye. Monday night, if nobody showed up to play, would anybody outside of fantasy football notice?
I don't think so. I mean, this is one of those games where they regretted it probably when they set it up. And, you know, yeah,
Patriots,
I mean, look, we have no.
Jets.
It's just one of those ugly slates. But thankfully, you know, it's the only thing to watch, though. So we will be watching it.
You are so right. We will be watching, and maybe that's why they put them there because nobody really wants to watch the Patriots.
It's
and
like a degenerate test. It's like if you're betting like the second half of that game, then you confirm you're just at it.
By the way, Jim, you always make me laugh. You always make me smile. Thanks for joining me again. Everybody follow him at _Jimmy McCormick. He's the best in the business. Be good. Take care, my friend.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Jimmy. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Thank you so much to MemphisFarmers.com, to Chad Gatlin, 901-235-1176. And by the way, people, if you want to call this place, 360-8255. I'll be back in just a second. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Start your day the right way with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 Mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
The Home Depot has holiday savings of up to 40% on select appliances, like a Whirlpool 4-door French door refrigerator for just $15.98. It's perfect for a busy kitchen full of helping hands. That's where its fingerprint-resistant stainless steel finish really shines. Order online and get free delivery. Holiday appliance shopping improved. Up to 40% off select appliances. Now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Continental U.S. only while supplies last. Valid through December 2nd. Free delivery on orders $396 or more.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the Build Your Own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
I can't breathe. Welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. That's Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. We got a couple football updates, but I've been asking everybody out there, 67129, if two mind readers read each other's mind, whose mind are they reading? Nobody's answered that one, but I got a great answer on if the early bird gets
Each
the worm.
other's.
Dude, they're both trying to read a mind. And if you're trying to read the other person's mind and the other mind reader's reading the other person's mind, what are you reading? It's just a blank nothing?
You're reading your own mind.
What, are they sharing a brain at that time?
No, because think about this. Because if you're reading their mind and they're reading your mind, you're reading what they're reading. So then that means you would be reading your own mind.
That means y'all both would be reading each other's own mind. And that means y'all's mind would be like linked up like y'all were twins or something. Man, I don't know. I think the mind reader thing would be like blank, yo, because you'd be focused. I don't know. It's tough. Hit me up. But check it out. I got one.
My favorite one's your bread one.
That's a great one.
Isn't toast just bread cooked twice?
It is. Like, I love that one. But if the early bird gets the worm, then why do good things come to those who wait? And the answer, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese.
All right, we need to get you off TikTok. That's all I have learned today. We need to get you off
It's
TikTok
Friday.
as soon as possible. It's Friday. Yes, it is
Now,
Friday. And guess
we
what
got
else happened?
Football games on Saturday, and we got to find out what's going on with some games.
And we have some footballs that will not be going on Saturday.
It's the kind of thing.
The recent cancellation comes out of the Pac-12. Arizona at Utah has been canceled. Obviously, they didn't have any wiggle room in their 6-game schedule to be able to reschedule. So this comes after Utah actually does not have enough scholarship players to field the minimum requirement for the Pac-12. So they will not be playing this weekend. Also out of the Pac-12, this was yesterday, we mentioned this, Washington at California has been canceled. And then we also, along with those, there's 8 other games. 10 games this week have been either postponed or canceled. 4 of them canceled, 6 of them postponed to later dates. Again, this is crazy too. 4 games, 8 teams now have been affected out of Conference USA. It's going to be tough when you have 8 teams trying to reschedule a game. I don't know how they're going to get it done, but we will see how we do this going forward.
Yeah, I will say one thing, though. The Sexus Bowl is still going on out in Oregon. You have the Beavers versus the Cougars. Just, I don't know how to explain that one, man. Especially out there on the left coast, man, where they're so liberal. It just amazes me. Washington State, Oregon State, 2 state colleges. Kill me. Now, the one thing that we will be watching, if you are watching any Pac-12 football, if they actually get to play, since they're finally starting, it'll be Arizona State, USC, and Oregon and Stanford. Is Oregon really going to be any good? How is it that if BYU is going to have the most wins in the country possibly tomorrow if they beat Boise State, but if Oregon wins, they'll still have a better chance at the college football playoff than BYU and Cincinnati? That's still just blowing my mind, and so will USC. And I don't know, is beating Arizona State and Stanford all that big of a deal?
Not in my opinion, but the committee thinks different.
It's amazing. They haven't been to the college football playoff in over 3 seasons, yet they're about to start, and they still are ahead of Cincinnati and BYU. But we got a lot of football to talk about, and Lee Sterling, he's picking all the games on the other side. That's right. Paramount Sports' very own Lee Sterling. I'm sure we're going to get some fights. We're going to get some games. Is there any fights this weekend?
I'll check on that.
Because I don't even know, actually. I usually would have found out by now. Maybe there's not any fights because he hadn't even sent me anything about fights. Anyway, we're going to talk tons of football. Lee Sterling's going to pick them. He's next. Whatever you do, don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5. Never forget Chad Gallen at MemphisFarmers.com, 96.1 FM.
You shout and no one seems to hear. And if the band you're
Buy your next car or truck at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. All credit welcome. Drive off in your new low-mileage pre-owned car or truck. From low-end cars to the most luxurious sports car. Ask about the 48-hour vehicle locator. Let Streamline Auto Smart do the looking for you. Close your deal within 1 hour. No waiting. It's quick and easy at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. 2558 Mount Moriah. Call Streamline Auto Smart 901-235-8845. Your next smart decision.
Back to work at that job, the one you realized isn't for you? Well, that's if you're lucky, right? Make your move. You can start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
When you visit Navy Liquor at 7866 Highway 51 in Millington, you'll be treated like family by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Select are your favorite bourbon, vodka, scotch, beer, tequila, gin, and rum, as well as wines from all over the world. An amazing selection of sakis, too. Coldest beer in town. Beer kegs are available. Any beer, any wine, any liquor. You got the Navy Liquor hookup. Come see us, holiday or any other occasion. Navy Liquor, corner of Highway 51 and Navy Road in Millington.
So you're watching the game and you see another ad for FanDuel Sportsbook and you think to yourself, is that legal here in Tennessee? You bet it is. FanDuel Sportsbook, now legal in Tennessee. You can place your first bet on FanDuel Sportsbook risk-free and get up to $1,000 back if you don't win. Seriously, there's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in bonus site credit so you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. Lay those points with Kansas City over the Panthers and with FanDuel Sportsbook. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types such as same-game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. And once you win on FanDuel Sportsbook, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable. Expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
In today's world, a lot is going on, but one thing is always true. You need to take care of yourself. The skin clinics can help. Age, diet, genetics, and current events can conspire to make you look and feel much older than you are. It doesn't have to be that way. Call the skin clinics and let their expertly trained nurses, estheticians, and staff choose the treatment that best suits you and your pocket. There's so much you can do. Consider skin resurfacing and rejuvenation, lash extensions and specialty brows, injectables, medical grade chemical peels, laser hair reduction, waxing, facials, makeup applications, and even services just for men. The Skin Clinics has it all in a caring, safe environment, always observing current social distancing guidelines. Go to theskinclinic.com to find out more and call today for your appointment at 901-345-SKIN. That's 901-345-SKIN. Taking care of yourself is good for you and your loved ones. Come to the Skin Clinics, 1300 Wolf Park Drive in Germantown.
Hi, folks. Good news for bargain hunters and bandits from the Chevy Sheriff in Collierville. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Chevy. Over 500 Chevys and used cars in stock just in time for the Sunrise Low Price Rodeo. Factory rebates up to $7,500. Sunrise discounts high as $8,000. And don't forget, Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good body shop? Bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models. Remember, you can bring your Chevy to Sunrise for service no matter where you bought it. Buy American and buy from Sunrise. Find new roads to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch. 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Chevy's cost less at Sunrise, partner.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's your good buddy Johnny Radio. You know I get Gabe Kuhn, and I'm about to be joined by the man, the myth, the living legend, Lee Sterling. Go to ParamountSports.com, check him out, watch one of his videos. You'll learn a lot, or check him out, give him a call, because there's a free game, there's tons of game, and always tune in to me. Why? Because every single Friday, 2 o'clock, right about this time, this man comes on and gives you free picks. That's right. Free picks. Does anything work better than free? I really don't know if there's anything better than free. Gabe, is there anything better than free?
No.
Well, there is, actually. Free and making money. 800-400-9741. 800-400-9741. Or just go to ParamountSports.com. It is time to talk with Lee Sterling. Lee, what's up, my friend?
I'm good. I'm real good.
Yes, sir.
You ready for this news?
Oh, what do we got?
He's like a little kid at a candy store. All right, so UFC, I have a 50 unit.
Oh!
Found a fight. No one's looking at this fight. No one's even talking about this fight. Close to pick'em odds. We're talking about like minus 115, 120 either way.
Ooh.
50 units. We're 13-2 on those since they came back the pandemic. Yes. And we've won out one, I think it's 23 out of 29 cards, UFC. So I'm going to send you those. Then I have a 40-unit selection, college football on Saturday. You know, we only have maybe one every 4 or 5 weeks.
Maybe, yeah.
And I have a 50-unit in college. I've never had a 40 and a 50 in one day.
Hold on. We got 2 50s and a 40 in one weekend?
Yeah.
That's
same
why
day.
It's called
same day and
same
the UFC.
November.
40 to 50-unit plays on a Saturday.
I think I'm ready to dance. Like, are you kidding me, man? It doesn't get better than that. And people, I'm going to tell you right now, seriously, jump on board. I've been with him for a long time. I love him. He has made me tons and tons of money. And I do have to admit it. The Tennessee, by the way, I don't know if you know this, they did the whole FanDuel. Tennessee is now, what is it, online gaming, legal, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I downloaded the little FanDuel thing. Man, I pulled out $750 last week listening to you. So thank you very, very much. It was a very easy week. Now, I got to ask you, though, because we got Clemson and Notre Dame, and I'm going to tell you right now, DJ Ugalele, he's a bad man. But, man, Notre Dame, you know, it's tough to go on the road, even with no crowd. With no crowd, you're still not at home. You're playing a Notre Dame team. Is this kid going to be able to go out there and beat Notre Dame on the road by 5?
So here's the way I see this game. If he would have just played and they played nobody last week, and they would have won, let's say, Wake Forest. Well, that's not right to say that about Wake Forest. I can't disrespect Wake Forest. Let's say they played Charlotte, or they played FIU and won 52-0 or 52-10. I don't think that would be that big a deal, but I think by him playing in a pressure cooker, a big game, they were down 28-13. He led them back to a win.
Yep.
So that experience is worth a lot. So when I'm watching things, people think, oh, a handicapper, what does he do? Well, I take notes during games. And then when I finish watching all the games and I've taken all my notes, I sit down when I study games for the next week, and I say, okay, how is this relevant to this game? Now, a lot of times it isn't, and what you do is I store it in my computer, the notes. Something might come up 4 or 5 games later. But what am I noticing? Except for a lot, well, they actually had, I think, 5 or 6 plays last week, but I keep putting notes down for Clemson's defenders. All right, like number 94, great penetration, great stop behind the line, great tackle in the open field. The average college team averages between 4 and 5 tackles for loss per game. A good college team, 6 or 7. Clemson's averaging 9.3 tackles for loss per game.
Whoa.
That is off the charts. Notre Dame's quarterback, Ian Book, I think he's pretty good. But the problem is his receivers are so bad. They get absolutely no separation. He has no he just doesn't have any swag anymore. I mean, you look at his self-confidence, it is gone. Just watch the way he carries himself. He's like a first-time starter. Not like a guy that's been around there for 4 years. So I think Clemson's the right side. I think they win the game 28-20.
I am so with you. I'm glad you said that. I thought that we were getting line value because everybody looked last week and was thinking that, oh, look, Clemson in the second half, their defense did go punt, fumble, punt, safety. I mean, punt, fumble, interception, safety. I mean, 2 punts, a fumble, an interception, and safety is a heck of a way to end the game. I think their momentum is going to go. And again, you talked about it. DJ Uiagalelei, he played in a real game. He brought him back, and the kid is just big. He's strong, and he has a cannon for an arm. And plus, you can still hand the ball to Travis Etienne.
Right. Who is the best running back in college football?
I agree unequivocally.
It's not even close. Now, I liked Chuba Hubbard, but he's not in Travis Etienne's league.
I agree with you. Oh, I agree with you. Now, this is I can't believe I've been talking about this game all week long. Like, which fan base is going to love their coach and which fan base is going to hate their coach. And I don't mean, I guess, hate it, but I mean, Sam Pittman, people are still going to love him. But if Arkansas beats Tennessee, I think Jeremy Pruitt's seat gets even hotter. People are already loving Sam Pittman. They're just like he's big, he's strong, he's got Arkansas playing football. They're like, Chad Morris, you're an idiot. I'm so glad you're gone. This is a crazy game, but Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. Who in the heck is going to win this one?
So what you have, I think we're going to look back 4 or 5 years from now, and we're going to say, wow. How many years did Chad Morris end up quarterbacking? I mean, coaching Arkansas.
2 too many, I think. I think it was 2.
Was it 2? Okay. So it was 2. Okay, so he goes 2-10 both years. Most places give him 1 more year. I think by them pulling the trigger early and saying this isn't working, best move ever. 5-10 years from now, we're going to say Sam Pittman, one of the best coaches we've seen. So how can you tell? Spread record. That's one of the ways. 5-0 against the spread. They've increased their run total from the second week of the year from 63 to 222 yards in their last game to Texas A&M. So they're getting better. They don't beat themselves. Felipe Franks was a turnover machine at Florida. Now, cutting down on his turnovers, who would you take? Franks? Who would you take? Any of the Tennessee quarterbacks? I'm taking Franks. I think right now, because who's the defensive line coach who was let go at Tennessee? You don't think you're on that staff thinking, hey, am I going to be next? I think Tennessee's got some problems here. I think Arkansas is going to give them all they can handle. Tough game to handicap, but I like Arkansas 28-24.
I absolutely agree with you. I love it, and I like when we're on the same page. It makes me even feel better about it. Now, this is offense versus defense, the best defense maybe in the country against a good Florida offense. But you got a Florida defense that's pretty good. They're playing a Georgia offense that's pretty average. Which team has more success in the Georgia-Florida game? The Dogs are minus 3.5.
A couple weeks ago, before the Alabama game, I did my power ratings, and I had Georgia as the best team in the country. Ooh. That was with, believe it or not, Stetson Bennett. But sometimes it's who you play when you play them. And what happened was Alabama was coming off that horrible defensive performance against Ole Miss. You know that Nick Saban and those defensive coaches were chewing out those players. You knew that they then, after chewing them out, said, okay, now we're going to fix it. And they did. And in the second half, look at second half adjustments. They made them. And what does Kirby Smart do? Nothing. Kirby Smart, as we know now, picked the wrong quarterback. He took Jake Fromm, head of Justin Fields. And he's sticking with his kid, Stetson Bennett. I don't get it. Maybe JT Daniels is still hurt, but JT Daniels on one leg is better than this kid.
Ooh.
And then having the best defense. I still think they're the best defense, but they lost both defensive tackles, Jordan Davis and Julian Rochester for this game. And then Richard LeCounte, he's not playing in this game either, and he's the best player on both defenses. In the game last year, can you picture what would you say was not the one play, but what would you say, if you had to say there was a theme for the game, what happened with Georgia's offense against Florida's defense in the game last year? Do you remember the game?
Georgia's offense versus Florida's defense?
Yeah.
Man.
As soon as I say it, you're going to remember it.
I can't really remember it.
Okay. I think they converted between 75 and 80% of their third down conversions. Every time they had a 3rd and 5, they would get it. I think there was like 4 or 5 measurements, Johnny. I mean, where they would measure it and they'd get it by a quarter of a football. It was scary. I mean, how they just kept converting by the smallest of margins. I mean, they had a couple where they'd go 3rd and 8 and get 10, but it seemed like every time 3rd and 9, get 10. 3rd and 3, get 4. 3rd and 13, get 14. It was crazy. I mean, give them credit. But if that doesn't happen and Florida wins the game, everyone's talking about Kyle Trask. He was good in that game. 21 for 33, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's 18 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions on the year. He's got better weapons than Georgia. I mean, maybe not better running backs, but you're talking about receivers. He's got the best tight end in the country.
Plus, Kadarius Toney is Dante Hall, redone. Yeah,
he is. I wouldn't want to tackle that guy.
No way, you can't.
He
just
He's
moves
too fast. I don't know how good he's going to be in the NFL. He might be good, might be great, but at this point, he's almost unstoppable. Wrong team's favorite, Florida, outright 27-23.
Man, I'm so glad you said that. That was one of my favorite games I've been looking at all week because I think it's the wrong team favorite, and I just look at it the way you were talking about it. You got playmakers on Florida, and yes, you're going to get one of the best defenses, but you got a quarterback who trusts his tight end. He makes big-time NFL throws. And, again, you got the human joystick out there. Florida's got some speed, and I don't trust Stetson Bennett. And I think Florida can make some plays on defense as well. I love that pick by the man from Paramount Sports, Lee Sterling, 800-400-9741. Tampa Bay, we're going to the National Football League now. Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin are both, looks like, going to play this weekend. Tons of weapons for Tampa Bay. They play New Orleans. They are a 5-point favorite. There's a lot of 5s on the board this weekend. Who is going to get the cover and the win?
Well, as we've talked about this for a couple of years. In the NFL, when the line is 5, it's a dead number. I can't explain to you why, but it only covers, as the favorite, 39% over the last decade. People are going to play Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Why? Because they lost the first game. They perceive these two teams as basically even teams, or maybe Tampa Bay's better. They lost the first game. Everyone remembers the biggest pick six that everyone remembers this year is Tom Brady's pick six opening day.
The out route.
Yep. Goodbye, 28 to the gate and 8 on the interception. So they're going to play Tampa, and here's why I'm going to tell you it might be a mistake. Tampa, you think their offense is good, and they might end up being very good, but they're only 20th in yards per pass attempt, 19th in yards per carry rushing. So they're not in the top half of either.
Wow.
New Orleans just wins. They're without their top 2 receivers, and they might get both of these guys back. They won 4 straight by a total of 3-3, 3 and 6 points, and 2 of those 4 games were overtime. Drew Brees didn't practice the last 2 games, but trust me, he is going to play. And then on top of that, he does. They may not have these 4 or 5 play drives for touchdowns. It might be 10 or 12 plays, but he's throwing the ball to Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. Kamara's caught 25 passes in the last 3 games, and their defense has 5 sacks last week on Nick Foles here. Upset City, New Orleans 34-31.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I also love Tennessee Titans. They're playing the Bears, who I can't stand, and they drive me absolutely crazy. I don't know what's going on with Nick Foles. We talked about that number 5 being a dead number, but what do you think about the Titans? Are they going to bounce back, or are the Bears somehow going to stick around and try to win something in the fourth quarter?
What would you do if I told you that Chicago's going to win this game by 20 points?
I would fall over.
Okay. Well, you don't have to fall over. I was kidding. I think Chicago's got a lot of problems.
Me too.
So, Nick Foles, he might be as bad as Trubinsky or worse. At least Trubinsky can run. You watch Foles, watch his body language with the coaching staff. They are not getting along at all. He has made some statements about the play calls. He's not too complimentary of it. They are winning ugly, but eventually, when you get outscored, outgained, out-total yards, outperformed on a yard-per-play basis, you're going to start losing with all those negative fundamentals. It catches up with you. Now, the Titans are allowing 27 points per game on defense, which is not good. But I just think Chicago they don't have the offense here to take advantage of that Titans milquetoast pass rush and that vulnerable secondary, which for some reason, sometimes they just play off way too deep. Derrick Henry has a big game. Ryan Tannehill play action works. Titans 28-17.
Man, the game of the week is the Cowbells versus the Commodores. Mississippi State's laying 18 against Vanderbilt. You can get that very easily. 800-400-9741. It's absolutely free. 800-400-9741. Give Lee a call. This week he's got a 50 unit in UFC. He's got a 50 unit in college football, a 40 unit in college football. Check him out, ParamountSports.com. I've had him forever. He's making me cash. It's Dovember. Lee, talk to him, baby.
Yeah, I'm emailing it to you in the next minute or two as soon as we get off. So you can bet them now, and I want you to, as soon as they start, the UFC match and the 2 football games, tweet it out, and let's go.
Let's do it. By the way, one other thing. Where's your video? How do we get you on YouTube? What do we have to look up?
It's UFC Fight Odds.
That's right. UFC Fight Odds. Check it out. Get all the fights. Get all the games. He's Lee Sterling. You be good out there, my friend.
All right, you too, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. We're going to have a great weekend again. 2 50s and a 40-unit play. Now, Gabe, I got a question for you. Do you like this place that I like to go? But it's brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Did you know that? Tito's. It's not just your best friend's vodka. It's your friend's. It's your vodka. Because also it's your best friend's vodka. And by the way, that's your dog, I mean. And what I'm saying is Tito's, they are the top 10 vodka in the world. One of the best spirits you can possibly get. The first distillery in the state of Texas since Prohibition. And I don't know if you realize this, but they do their things and they still it in these, little copper pots. Stilling it that way in vodka is very rare. That's why you get that great taste. You get the sweet with the note of pepper in it. I love that. Trust me, Tito's. You get the best vodka in the world, but you don't have to pay the outlandish, crazy prices. Yes, everybody knows about the other brands. It's right up there. Just go and Google the top 10 vodkas in the world. You'll see Tito's there. Now, go to your liquor store and grab you a bottle today. You'll love me and thank me later. Now, let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, Lordy.
I have a place to start.
You have a place to start.
Yeah, it's breaking news, too. Out of the MLB.
Okay, by the way, before we start there, though, I just want to remind you, nobody has even texted in, John, you're right. Because what did I say yesterday? You know what walks, and you know what talks. Money talks. What walks? Y'all figure it out, 67129. When are they going to start the NBA? December 22nd. Shout out
Fulfilling
to Johnny
those
again.
TV contracts.
I always thought
made
it was
the
a
most
joke.
sense. We'll see what happens.
We will.
Although,
Again,
they have agreed on it, right? It's
it's
agreed.
done. It's
fully.
a done deal.
Done deal.
Mhm.
But let's start here in the MLB.
Let's go.
We're talking about Justin Turner, and they have concluded, the MLB that is, their investigation on Justin Turner after being out on the field with his team celebrating while supposedly positive with COVID-19. They have said he will receive absolutely no punishment. And then the interesting thing, they blamed it on themselves. Rob Manfred and company and the MLB have blamed that on themselves. They say Major League Baseball could have handled the situation more effectively. For example, in retrospect, a security person should have been assigned to monitor Mr. Turner when he was asked to isolate, and Mr. Turner should have been transported from the stadium to the hotel more promptly. I find this very interesting. It seems like Justin Turner has some type of blame in the situation, just a little bit. I mean, we got to find it. Someone he knew he was positive with COVID-19 and still went out on the field, but he will not be punished by Major League Baseball.
Wow, that is actually pretty fascinating to me. I'm not surprised that Justin maybe not getting punished. I'm surprised that baseball took the onus on themselves. Like, that's not how baseball does things. Remember that? Like, remember when the whole steroid issue was going? It's not illegal for baseball, but dude, don't you know? Like, it's also not written in the rules. You can't commit murder. Hold on. Hold up. Are y'all gonna really go there, baseball? Dude, y'all knew they had Andro. They were going HGH. Domes were growing. People were looking like Popeye in cartoons. In baseball, they let it go to Congress.
Now, granted, I didn't know, I didn't think that they'd be able. Be able is different, but I didn't think they'd do anything to Justin Turner. And the only reason I say that is because the season ended, and I figured they'd just try to swipe it under the rug, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do.
Listen, Bud Selig would have done nothing, but he would have waited in so much time that it would have been Christmas morning, and baseball would have done a media dump, and they've been like, nothing going to happen to Justin Turner. Happy Christmas morning.
But then at those times, I don't think MLB would have literally taken the onus on themselves.
That's what I'm saying. He never would have done it.
That's bizarre. Rob Manfred does some weird things.
And now I got a question for you. Do you think Max Muncy feels like an a-hole? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Because, he went on MLB Network. He had an article written up, I think, by Fernandez for CBSSports.com. Deadgummit, I can't remember everybody's name. I think Gabriel Fernandez. Point is, he wrote an article. Dude went on, he did all the rounds. Well, not really all the rounds. He went on MLB Network shows, okay? That's not on every channel, but he was on all the shows, and he was taking mad shots at Rob Manfred. He said, basically, like, what a nice piece of metal, talking about the trophy, and then he was like, and Justin Turner, nice piece of metal too. Rob Manfred, he's weak and he'll cave to everybody and blah, blah, blah. And, basically said that he brought out the cheating scandal on TV, said he didn't do jack during the cheating scandal to protect them. And now he's going to come out there and try to get one of his guys. I mean, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Max Muncy sounded like he was on a conspiracy theories television show. Like, he was about to tell me the truth about JFK or something. You know what I mean? I'm like waiting for this bad boy. Like, who was there during the grassy knoll? Like the Zapruder film. No, dude, but then he has to basically do. Don't you think he needs to come out and apologize after what he did last week? Or did you, is it nobody knows because they don't watch MLB Network?
That might be the case, but no, I mean, here's the thing, is does he have to apologize? I don't know. Will he apologize? From the sounds of it, absolutely not. If he came out very strongly against Rob Manfred and covered Justin Turner's butt, he's very stuck in his ways and thoughts. So it's I don't think he will apologize.
I don't.
Do you think he needs to?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just saying it was just a week ago that he went on and said that. I mean, he basically said Rob Manfred is.
He was basically saying if Justin Turner gets, he wanted Justin. He didn't want
Rob
Justin
Manfred
Turner.
Has no backbone.
But he was saying he didn't.
Up to,
long
Jim
story
Crane
short,
to the
though.
Owners.
But he said he didn't want Justin Turner to get
correct. He didn't want
punished.
him to get. He said Justin Turner deserves no punishment, and basically said what you said, that it was Major League Baseball's fault. You can't come in the seventh inning after he's already been out there.
Do you think what he said had any effect on Rob Manfred's decision and what he said? Well,
Actually,
but
no.
they are saying that. I mean, at this point, they're blaming it on themselves.
It basically sounded like he did take a lot of actually what Max Muncy said and put it out there, but it feels like it's kind of like that low-hanging fruit. Like, it's the obvious thing. Like, what is Max Muncy going to complain about? He's going to say Rob Manfred did not protect us against the cheating scandal of 2017. The Astros stole a World Series from us. Now, when we win the World Series, Rob Manfred wants to basically rain on our parade. And you know what? He didn't come down on Jim Crane. He went and got a bunch of patsies. And now, because we win a championship during COVID-19, they got to find controversy in that. And Justin Turner shouldn't be punished. Baseball should be. They shouldn't have come in the 7th inning and blah, blah. I mean, he was going bananas. I was like, dude, during the offseason, Muncy does yay. You know, like, what's up, Max? But no, he was just a little feisty, and now I almost feel like he should at least... Oh, and he also, after he went on TV, he did tweet out, like, a picture of the World Series trophy and said that Rob Manfred had no backbone. Right after he says Rob Manfred had no backbone, he won't stand up to the owners, but he'll always punish players. And then he put out, nice medal right here, like basically saying there's nothing in Rob Manfred's back but a spineless, toothless, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I mean, maybe he should acknowledge that Rob Manfred didn't do what he thought he would do.
He put the blame on baseball. I don't know. I saw this as when you told me that was the first thing I thought about was Max Muncy, because you don't see players attack the commissioner like that very often.
Tell that to Trevor Bauer.
Never
Come on
mind.
now.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Take it back a second,
Time
buddy.
out. Okay, how many lunatics are like Trevor Bauer, who has TrevorBauer.com on his pitching
Okay,
shoes,
very few, but
you know,
you get my
flying
point.
drones,
Very
right.
few, but you get my point.
Trevor Bauer is a lunatic. You're right. But yes, great point by Gabe Kuhn. Nobody is like Trevor Bauer in the whole world. Now, I got to take a quick break. I will tell you I had a bunch of other crazy stories I wanted to get to. Man, why is it a Friday when we don't have Hardwood? We got lunatic stories. I'll just bring them up on the other side with your bro. No, we'll have a lot of fun. Trust me, I'm not going to freak him out too bad. Now, don't forget, please tell me, whose mind are we reading? I don't know, but come back on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a three-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
You know what sounds good? Fresh sandwiches and salads, homemade soups and desserts. And you know where to find all this delicious food? Paradise Cafe at Poplar and Ridgeway in the Regalia Shopping Center. The name says it all. Paradise Cafe makes their food fresh. Salads, sandwiches, cookies, and brownies. Hand-selected fruit, pimento cheese, even 4 kinds of chicken salad. The homemade soups change daily. They're said to be the best in the city. Try the signature turkey burger on ciabatta or shrimp salad on a croissant. Then top it off with a low-fat shake. Paradise Cafe has 11 kinds. Paradise Cafe, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 2:30. Observing current social distancing guidelines with patio seating. Curbside pickup and delivery are also available. Fresh and homemade for you. That's Paradise Cafe in the heart of East Memphis at Poplar and Ridgeway inside the Regalia Shopping Center. You know what sounds good? Paradise Cafe.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
you're watching the game and you see another ad for FanDuel Sportsbook and you think to yourself, is that legal here in Tennessee? You bet it is. FanDuel Sportsbook, now legal in Tennessee. You can place your first bet on FanDuel Sportsbook risk-free and get up to $1,000 back if you don't win. Seriously, there's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in bonus site credit so you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. Lay those points with Kansas City over the Panthers and with FanDuel Sportsbook. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types such as same-game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. And once you win on FanDuel Sportsbook, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable. Expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Mondays, karaoke. Tuesdays, Debbie Jameson. Wednesdays, Elmo and the Shades. Thursdays, Eddie Smith. And the best Memphis music all weekend at Neil's Bar and Grill.
Where the fat man rocks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yeah, I like me a little Purple Haze. What's up, Jimmy? Speaking of Purple Haze, never mind. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's your good buddy Johnny Radio. It's Friday. Speaking of Purple Haze, it is a beautiful Friday outside. We got our good buddy Alex Kuhn. He's going to join us in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. But I got to tell you something. I'm worried about people. I've talked to y'all about Memphis Recovery Center, BHG. What is that place with the lakes that rich people go to when they're an addict? Well, it's out there somewhere. Keith Smith. Do you know who he is? NFL's Keith Smith?
Yes.
He came out and admitted he's an addict. Did you hear about this?
I did.
He's addicted to Chipotle.
I like Chipotle, too. I relate. I think Alex might relate to that, too. Are you a
I've
Chipotle
never
guy?
eaten there because
Never? Ever?
Because the one time I was about to go is when they had that situation. You know what that situation was? I can't remember. Like people got sick or something.
They had like some salmonella stuff.
That's what it
going
was.
on.
Yeah, and I freaked out and I've never been. And I don't even know where one is now.
There's one in the is that the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center?
I don't even know.
It's the one over by
Is that by the PetSmart thing?
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I forgot.
It's
yeah,
there.
that's the only one I know of. But anyway, Alex, we're not going to talk Chipotle, but I do have to admit, it must be pretty good if your brother and Keith Smith is an addict on it. So have you?
Are you an addict?
Do you have an addiction problem?
Yeah, I do actually. But you guys are way wrong. It wasn't salmonella. It was E. coli.
Oh, big difference. What's the difference?
Yeah, no, definitely big difference.
Yeah, okay, but can you tell me what's the difference? Because I don't know.
So E. coli will that's from. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like that's found inside your stomach.
I don't know.
But it's like, if you eat it,
I was just pointing it out.
No, E. coli. I think if you eat and ingest, it could actually kill you. Salmonella is more of like a foodborne
I found
sickness.
out stomach pains, cramps. It sounds like a Pepto-Bismol
Nausea, heartburn,
indigestion. Oh my gosh, Alex!
Okay,
I hope you know we love having you on the show.
All right, let's start with a little bit of sports here. Let's get to it finally.
Sports? What are those? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot more. Speaking of which, there's a lot going on this week besides sports. I thought the funniest thing this week was when on Election Day, Rob Manfred decides to drop the Gold Glove winners. It's like you are, God.
That night we had the show from 4 to 6, and at about 5:55 ish, when we're kind of wrapping up, it's our 5-minute warning. Todd is like, yeah, tonight the Gold Glove Award winners are going to be announced, and everybody's on edge. The whole country's on edge, and like, oh, this is a distraction for 2 hours. We'll talk some sports, but there's an elephant sitting in the middle of the room, and he says, the Gold Glove Award winners are going to be announced tonight. And I'm like, wait, what? Who's in charge of that?
Yeah, like who makes these decisions? Who makes these? It's awful.
It's unbelievable.
It's awful.
Oh my goodness.
It's awful.
But yeah.
I mean,
Rob Manfred, right?
Yeah, and then today, no punishment for Justin Turner. So, but I don't even.
By the way, they're having a kumbaya moment.
Oh yeah,
Justin Turner just released a statement too, and he's like, thank you, but I just want everybody to know that I got to apologize because the onus is on me. Like, what is going on? Are Rob Manfred and Justin Turner dating?
It's one of those times where with Justin Turner that clearly, once again, the commissioner. It's so weird because he has the owner's backs in every situation. But the way that he handles player punishment is, he gave complete immunity to all the players in the Astros organization, and in this case, no punishment at all. I mean, we'll move on. Whatever. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I think it's the wrong call, but whatever happens inside Major League Baseball anymore, I can't ever make any sense of it.
Right.
Like Rob Manfred, during the World Series, I believe it was the day of game number 4, comes out and starts crying poverty, saying, oh yeah, next year's going to be tough. We lost a lot of money. It was just total Debbie Downer. Remember when A-Rod came out in the middle? I want to say maybe I can't remember which World Series it was. It was the early 2010s. He came out and opted out of his contract, and he was chastised by Major League Baseball for being a distraction during the World Series. The one thing that you were always told inside Major League Baseball is don't ever distract from the World Series. And in this case, you had your own commissioner distracting from the World Series. It was just unbelievable, but so on brand for 2020.
Very, very on brand, especially and Rob Manfred. But I want to get to the Pac-12. Arizona, Utah canceled, and the other game is Washington and who? I'm missing this. Why am I not thinking of it right
Utah.
this second? Washington and Utah. Washington Cal.
Oh,
what
sorry.
do you what do you make of this? Was it honestly, when you look at these Pac-12 schools, was it the right call to bring them back? 6 games, 6 weeks. Does this make sense?
Well, let's just all acknowledge something right now. If we're just talking about the
Pac-12?
public health side of this, the public health side of this, no, of course not. But that's what it goes, or that's how it goes for every conference. And this brings me to where I think we all are now. Everybody was like, all right, whose plan is the best? Because it was every conference for themselves. Mm-hmm. Well, the teams who came back early had COVID-19 outbreaks. The teams who came back a little later in the Big Ten have COVID-19 outbreaks. And now the Pac-12, before their season even started, has outbreaks. So there just wasn't a good plan. Like in this case, with college football, they made the decision that we're going to try to tough our way through this, and knowing that it's not going to be perfect, knowing that there will be several cases, and the fact that they're going to have to be very flexible. The thing I worry about now, though, is the Big Ten, because on Tuesday we're going to find out if the entire Big Ten West race is completely delegitimized in 2020. Wisconsin,
yep.
If they miss another game, they will not be eligible for the Big Ten or for the Big Ten championship game. And think about what's happened already. Iowa was supposed to compete at that level. They're 0-2. Minnesota was supposed to compete for the Big Ten West. They're 0-2. So that leaves Illinois at 1-1, Northwestern and Purdue both at 2-0. If Wisconsin's not eligible for the Big Ten championship game, it would be sort of a death blow to the entire Big Ten West race.
Well,
go ahead. You go ahead.
I want one back up one little small part because y'all talked about the COVID-19 thing, and I just wanted to, like, nobody's brought this up, and I just kind of wanted to bring this up. BYU this year, they had to completely change their schedule, do everything different. They're in Utah. There's like a huge outbreak over there. And by the way, they have 43,000 people on their campus, yet they've had 152 active cases, which is a 0.35%. How has BYU done it? How have they been able to be there in every game? Zach Wilson's playing like a Heisman contender, and they play Boise State. And if they win this Saturday, they'll be the only team that's 8-0 in this country. Maybe they have the best plan.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm kind of glad we're beyond the point of like speculating. All right, what's this team going to do? What's this school going to do? But yeah, I think that I'm actually in Colorado this week. I'm in Boulder, and
Really?
for a while,
Dude, they got a bunch of shops out there. Sorry.
They sure
for
do.
a while, they had less than a 0.5%. 0.5% positivity rate, and it fluctuates. But yeah, maybe BYU has a secret. That's beyond my pay grade.
Do you want to know something that I just found out? Denver has decriminalized psilocybin. That's mushrooms. So
yes,
the mushroom industry is thriving out there. If you get bored and want to go magic mushrooms, give me a call.
It's
while you're on
thriving.
them.
It's thriving. It's thriving. Oh my God. John's going to head up to Oregon after the show. It's done. John already has a ticket out to Portland.
Oh, man, this is hilarious.
I want to get back to the Big Ten because Big Ten, like you talked about it. I think Wisconsin was looking with Graham Mertz better than they had in a while, and probably, in all likelihood, may have gotten into that talk of, okay, maybe, just maybe they can get to the Final Four. I think that's gone now. Do you think there's any chance right now when you look at the Big Ten that you're going to have a team even get a remote outside shot besides Ohio State of getting into the playoff?
No.
No chance.
It's over.
Okay. Like, if Wisconsin comes back next week, wins out, and then beats Ohio State, is undefeated, and is like super impressive, and Graham Mertz is the deal, and keeps playing that way, like I guess I can't rule it out. Other than that, there's no chance. Penn State, by the way, 0-2.
My gosh, dude.
Michigan 1-1.
It's interesting too because we talked about this 2 weeks ago, right? All of us about Penn State, where it's like everybody's trying to crown them, and they were the second highest rated ranked team at the beginning of the year, and you just knew, how are they going to get by? I just didn't understand that from the beginning. But continue, my bad.
No, I was going to say that team was going to go one of two ways. Maybe during a regular year, they have time to get their crap together in the non-conference, but yeah, I'm not ready to say a team that isn't as talented as Ohio State is in the beginning, with a quarterback like Sean Clifford, is going to have any shot against Ohio State.
Most embarrassing games from the weekend. Could it be the leadoff of the Texas Bowl in Oregon State and Washington State, the Cougars versus the Beavers? Could it be Minnesota and Illinois, who are both 0-2, playing each other for the pathetic bowl? Or is it Vanderbilt and Mississippi State? Vanderbilt's 0-4, but I think they can get their first win this week because they are playing 1-4 Mississippi State, who's only beaten LSU.
Remember when Mississippi State was ranked like 16th in the country?
Yeah, they don't have even a foot. I can't believe they have enough people to go play Vanderbilt this week. Like, as many people have quit.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Some of these coaches who have had like so little time to practice, and they're these first year coaches like Mel Tucker at Michigan State and Dave Aranda at Baylor, who the COVID Mike Norvell to a certain extent at Florida State. This beginning of the season has been totally expected, but not at all kind to any of those guys.
Ooh. Not at all. And know who else it hasn't been kind to? Our good friend in Ann Arbor, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What was that? What?
I don't know.
Is there any explanation for that? Does anyone have? John, do you have an explanation?
I still don't know how that quarterback threw that punt with his hands into that receiver's, and it landed in the receiver's like right in his lap. That was the ugliest throw I've ever seen for a touchdown. And Peyton Manning, I watched for like 2 decades. I really don't know what to say. But I got to ask you before we go, Justin Fields. He is having the most amazing season, and I know it's early, but who besides like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, are you talking about for the Heisman? Trevor Lawrence isn't playing. This is going to be the second week without him. Notre Dame's basically really the only team on their schedule, and if DJ Uiagalelei beats them, I just don't know where Trevor gets his shine from. Is this thing Justin Fields to lose now?
Yeah, I mean he's certainly right up there, and it's crazy that we haven't even discussed the Heisman talk because everything's so disjointed, and we have different teams playing at different points of the season. But to me, he's the clear-cut favorite. Depends on what Trevor Lawrence does when he comes back. But the numbers that Justin Fields has put up are just absurd. Didn't he throw three interceptions all of last year? The guy has been.
He's completed 87.5%.
Yeah, the completion percentage is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And a name to keep an eye out on as far as maybe getting to New York, or who knows if there's even going to be, if it's the whole thing's going to be digital this year or on the internet via Zoom. But watch out, a dark horse. Breece Hall from Iowa State.
Ooh.
Has gone over 100 yards in all 5 games so far. He has been absolutely dominant. He's played all the toughest defenses that he's going to play all year. And, that offense revolves around him. So if he continues to put up those statistics where he is on track for 100 yards per game every single game, that's a name to keep an eye out on.
Man, that is really awesome. By the way, they still have Lawrence as the betting favorite at -30. Fields is +40. Mac Jones is +150. And your man is +2,033. So
there it is.
Some serious comeback on some cheddar, yo.
Yeah, I don't think he'll win it, to be fair. But I'm just like, maybe to be a finalist or...
I like it. I love it when you throw something out there like that. I didn't even think to look at that. That's pretty awesome. By the way, last but not least, since you're talking Heisman, who's going to win, Kyler Murray or Tua Tagovailoa, who had his trophy stolen by Kyler Murray?
Give me Kyler.
Me too.
Although the Dolphins kind of look, they're not
defense.
a bad football team.
They look solid.
I
still can I be honest though? I still don't agree with the decision to go to Tua. I don't know. But
not in the middle of the season.
Teach their own.
Man, that is the truth. By the way, Alex, we'll talk to you next week. Don't forget to listen to him on KGYM Radio. I know you got to get ready. You're really out in Boulder, so go grab a couple tacos and some left-handed cigarettes. And don't forget, after your show, if you want, there's a nice place to go walking around, and you know where the mushrooms are at. Have a good time. Have a good one, Alex.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Have a safe trip, my friend. And also remember something, people out there. If you're out there partying and having a good, living your best life, do me a huge favor. Check out Tito's. I say this for so many reasons because it is the best vodka in the world. I love it. It's from Austin, Texas. It makes the best. They literally do it in old-fashioned pot stills. The taste from every batch is the same. The quality it's just unheard of. But the one thing that will always bring you back, the price is ridiculous. You go in there, grab you a handle today, Tito's Vodka. Get your Tito's on. We'll be back in 2 Shakes. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Ben Swinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Ben Swinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. 2 Memphis locations, one in Midtown on Hollywood Street across from the Liberty Bowl, and one in Cordova off Germantown Parkway next to the Fox and Hound. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Ben Swinger Glass.
Spend the holidays at home this year with a little help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure has so many spas in stock and hundreds more on order. Now's your time to really save big. Huge savings on pool tables, game tables, arcades, massage chairs, and a whole lot more. Buy a pool now and save the 2021 price increase. Plus, you'll get early installation scheduling. The Holidays at Home sale happening now at Family Leisure, Whidden Road at I-40, where family and fun come together for the holidays.
I'm so sick.
Ooh, honey.
Seriously? I'm sick.
Oh, honey, it's time for DayQuil Severe Honey. It's maximum strength cold and flu medicine with soothing, honeylicious taste.
I love you, honey.
And I love you.
I meant the DayQuil.
New DayQuil Severe Honey, the soothing, honeylicious daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, power through your day medicine. Use as directed.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 800 new Buicks and GMCs, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 150 in stock. Sunrise has rustled up a good-looking herd of cars and trucks under $99.95. Ranch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help put your brand on one of these little fillies. Come on in and save some money during Western Trading Days at Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville. Cars cost less at Sunrise, partner.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Gabe's doing the Pee Wee Herman on the other side. I need a little JB and a little widespread. But I will tell you what, welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's Friday, y'all. It's a beautiful week of football. Beautiful week in the fights. Plus, Lee Sterling is giving out 2 50-unit plays, a 40-unit play. And plus, it's just a great week, period. The weather in this area, has it ever been nicer in November? I don't think so. I can't remember. I got shorts on in November, yo. It is absolutely beautiful. So do me a favor. Enjoy life. Go out there and grab you a handle of Tito's Vodka. Why? It's crafted in Austin, Texas. First legal distillery since Prohibition. It's a corn-based vodka. They use a classic pot still method, which, again, I've told y'all this. It's a very rare thing in the vodka scene. The flavor is slightly sweet, with a note of black pepper. It balances things out, whether you're like a mixologist making some sweet. Have you ever had, gosh, I can't say that on the air.
Why not?
Because the name of the drink is a bad name. It has to do, like.
Bleep it somehow. You can find
No, because it's a leg something. Anyway, point is, Malibu, Tito's, a little Midori, and pineapple juice. Shake that bad boy up. The ladies love it. Woo! You'll go banana sandwiches. There's all kinds of stuff that you can make with Tito's. I'm telling you, just go like my dude, what's his name, 420 Dogface. Just grab a little cranberry and some Tito's. I'm telling you, you're vibing just like TikTok is. I promise you this. There's no better vodka in the world with the better price. That is a fact. Check out Tito's. Grab you a handle today. You'll be glad you did. Now, I got to tell you, this weekend, place some bets. There's some really good games. Wrong team favored in Florida and Georgia, I think. NFL, couple exciting games. But I did want to bring this one other thing back up, Mr. Gabe Kuhn. Did you hear about the wildest story from the weekend?
No, but I'm assuming you're going to tell me about it, right?
I think it happened. Yep, I'm going to tell you about it for sure. And I know it happened because the man was banned from Yellowstone Park. How do you get banned from Yellowstone Park? For a minute, don't think about doing anything to the animals, okay? Get your head out of the gutter, people. What could you do at Yellowstone to get banned? Is there a way that if you cook chicken at Yellowstone that you could get banned? Does that sound like some way you could get banned at all? No,
You wouldn't think.
No, you would not think. But yes, a man at Yellowstone was carrying up a little bundle of chicken. He put in a burlap sack, and he decided to throw that bad boy in Old Faithful or whatever, the geysers. You know the geysers, that like the superheated geysers? He was cooking his chicken in a thermal heated geyser, and he was throwing it in there, and when it would shoot up in the air, he was going to catch his chicken. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, there's got to be an easier way to cook chicken, right? I don't cook
Was he
chicken.
doing it? Here's the thing. It's like, was he doing it for a YouTube channel? Was he doing it for like something that's like
You know what?
entertainment
That's a
value?
good-
Because maybe I'd watch that. But it sounds like he wasn't. It
No.
sounds like he was
Homie was just-
That's just how he normally cooks his chicken. He was out there just
Dude, he was just
nonchalantly.
rolling, walking with his little stick and the little yellow thing or the little red bandana holding his chicken, went, tied it up, threw it in the geyser. I don't know. Maybe that's how they cooked back in the day. I don't know.
How hot are the
before fire.
geysers? Do you have that?
How hot are geysers? I'm actually going to let you look that up, or I'll do it. Hot geysers, or how hot are geysers? By the way, that just keeps making me think of the game that's going on between the Cougars and the Beavers this weekend. Who do you like? You like anybody?
450 degrees, it says.
I think you could cook your chicken pretty quickly.
I think you could.
You know what? I got to say something.
Well, it depends.
Maybe he's
Is this a
onto
full
something.
chicken or are these like wings? Or these?
No,
it was a full
he,
chicken.
He had chicken. He just brought up some breast. He just grabbed some chicken breast. He had 2 chicken breasts in a burlap sack.
Hey, but either way, I don't want to boil my chicken.
You know
That's
what? I didn't
gross.
think
Like,
about it. Well, I guess it's
why?
like, I mean, I think the whole thing was he liked to see it getting shot out of the geyser. You got to admit that is kind of a cool way to.
Well, again, that brings up my question: was it for a YouTube channel? Why did he do it? But like literally, when you read the story, it sounds like he just normally goes up there to cook his food. It's so weird.
What a weekend we have. Arkansas, Tennessee. I love me some Sam Pittman and some Arkansas this week. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Minnesota, and Illinois. Only if you're gambling are you watching those games. Penn State and Maryland also fall in that one. But Cincinnati playing Houston this week. I'll be keeping a close eye on that one. Cincinnati is a 13-point favorite. They are undefeated. They are 5-0, 3-0 in the American. And, of course, everybody's going to be watching the Gators in Georgia. That's at 2:30 Central Time. I can't wait to see what Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, and the human joystick do on that Georgia defense. But now my time has come and gone. Whatever you do, never forget. 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Get out there. Make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.